Hi, everybody. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. That's right. It's time for Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people, starring the Gentleman's Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey, my heterosexual life mate, David, and the ever-loving AJ.
Howdy.
And today, we are going to talk about maybe AJ's favorite thing to talk about.
Probably my favorite thing to.
Maybe. I mean, your family. Your family's up there.
It's not that I talk about it all the time, but when the discussion comes up, it is.
Yeah,
it's definitely one. Oh yeah,
totally.
If you can't tell by our decor, we are going to talk the Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
And Dave Grohl.
And Mr. Grohl specifically and beyond. But yeah, for sure, the Foo Fighters. And yeah, AJ, since you are the Uber fan, please lead the way.
Where do we want to start?
Oh, well,
there's lots. I guess that's the question. Where do we want to start? I mean, Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
People, but that's why we're here talking about the Foo Fighters, right?
True,
so
yeah.
He started it in '94 after his run in Nirvana, after the unfortunate demise of Kurt Cobain. He's been in many bands. There was a band called Scream before Nirvana,
right?
Like a punk rock kind of outfit. Foo Fighters is why we're here to talk about it. I mean,
they're the biggest band I know him in, other than Nirvana, of course. But,
sure.
Yeah.
Did you like the Nirvana? Were you a fan of Nirvana?
Nirvana, yes, because of course at that time, the moment, it was that right thing for me, that age group, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely Nirvana.
Yeah, so he was the drummer for Nirvana. I guess that's where his claim to fame would be there.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Nirvana. I was a fan.
I was a late fan.
I still enjoy Nirvana.
Oh, they're great.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Like for me, grunge was definitely Soundgarden. Like I loved. Like as soon as I heard Black Hole Sun, I was in. I was in, and I don't know what it was. I just didn't connect with Nirvana right away. And then I think just after Kurt had passed, I don't know if it had anything to do with that, but I just fell in love with them. Like, oh wow, he really is a terrific songwriter. And
your curiosity kind of was piqued maybe by the.
But that also made me an early non-fan of the Foo Fighters. Yeah. For
me, I have to admit, for Nirvana, then again, slightly off topic, but for me, it was the public school dances.
Oh, yes, yeah,
of course,
yeah.
That's I still remember. Oh, I knew this song, and of course, that's how I knew it. And then eventually, we got the cable for the Muchie Music, and then that's what I remember.
Let me tell you something, audience. If you've never been to a Much Music video dance party. And mosh. That's right, mosh to Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Or headbanged, headbanged.
You did
mosh.
not live.
No.
You did not live, for sure.
Those were the days.
That's where the
and then the gyms with the walls that had the cushions on, or not the cushions, the mats.
The mats.
Yeah.
Get crazy on
Oh, those were fun. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
But then after that, he went into the studio and did his own thing, his own record. Played all the instruments by himself for the first record, which is something I kind of aspire to do one day.
Yeah.
He did that before Foo Fighters?
No, he did that. Well, actually, yes, he did do that before Foo Fighters.
Okay.
Essentially, yeah.
He did an album project called Late, which was, I guess you could say, a Foo Fighters demo tape.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he released that and that was just on cassette. And then he went into the studio again after that and did the first Foo Fighters album.
And turned into the self-titled record.
Yes, which he didn't put, when he released it, he didn't put any names or anything on it because he didn't want
to be building off.
I mean, of course you're going to be associated, but he didn't want that to be associated with
that album,
Nirvana, and that's the reason why people
he wasn't going to use
enjoyed it. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, he's not going to use the clout.
Yeah. Hey, I was part of the Nirvana band, so you should totally buy my.
So here's my record.
Yeah.
Right, and that came the first record, which apparently has Dave's favorite video, the Mentos video.
Everyone knows the Mentos video.
Or the Fructose video.
Oh, yeah, that Fructose video. Yeah,
which would be Big Me. Good song. Yeah. I mean, we could talk about Foo Fighters all day. There was Probot, which was a heavy metal project that he did with a bunch of heavy metal singers.
Yeah.
Again, I think he did a bulk of the recording himself.
Yep.
Then he was in Them Crooked Vultures with John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin.
Oh, wow.
And Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah,
nice.
Great band. They're like the craziest supergroup.
Who he also worked with them with Queens of the Stone Age for an album and a bit.
Help them out, yeah.
A little bit of touring. But yeah,
What about the D?
the D.
Tenacious D.
He did, both
gotcha.
both studio
He's using
albums.
the movie too. wasn't
That's right. He was.
He played the
Sorry.
Satan. Yes, he played the Satan.
That's right. I remember that.
You did.
And
He
in the
played
video.
Satan, yeah. And in the video.
In the video for that that song.
Nice.
What a cool thing to do, eh? Just to be a drummer that you're kind of like influenced or influencing.
And that's just
things.
it. He is one of those really amazing artists that, other than that's the first time I heard the story about the drummer and all that, but like he seemed to be the type of guy, that can work with everybody. Like he does seem to be.
He does do a lot of collaboration type stuff.
Yeah.
He's earned that title, nicest guy in rock. I think that's a legit.
Yeah,
thing.
like
I think he's.
He has the skill. Like, and again, we kind of joked about it a bit, but I'm not a huge Foo Fighters fan. It's not that I hate them. And in fact, as part of preparing for this, yes, I put on, all the songs, much like we're all doing. And, to me personally, as I'm trying to get as far away from Jay as possible.
I don't hit. That's okay. That's okay.
To me, they're always been they're a good band to hear on the radio between the other good bands.
But here's the thing. I would agree to a point to what you're saying, but think about this for a second. That's what we say now, right? To get they've been around for 94. So
no, they have skill.
25, 26 years now.
Yeah.
So when they first came out, they were a much more bigger deal. I wouldn't say the self-titled was as big of a deal, but when The Color and the Shape came out, that thing fucking exploded.
Oh yeah,
like that album was nuts. That was Everlong. That was Monkey Wrench. That was
My Hero.
Like all these songs that came out, and nobody for me, that's what got me to be a fan. And I'll tell a quick story. So one birthday party, I don't know what year it was. We were at your place partying. And Joe Kuhn, shout out to Joe Kuhn. I don't even remember us or not. Old high school mate. He was invited and he came, and that was he gave me The Color and the Shape as a gift, which I thought was weird because we weren't doing gifts. It was like we're drinking.
Yeah,
right? So,
responsibly at the age of 26.
Yeah, 26. We'll go with that. That's what that.
Yeah.
And I actually at the time was kind of offended by Joe. I'm like, why the hell would you give me a Foo Fighters record, you asshole? Like, I don't like these guys, right? So whatever, I didn't, I thanked him, whatever, that's fine. And party went on, good stuff. That album sat with my other albums for a year. I never bothered listening to it. Didn't care. I couldn't bring myself to throw it away because it's just back then, you did throw it away.
Yeah, well.
And this was a time before Spotify and all the other streaming services.
So you had to have all the music.
Right.
Yeah.
So about a year, whenever it was, I was like, you know what? I've listened to everything else I got. Let's give it a shot. And it was like, what the hell? How have I not been listening to this band all this time? And they just really impressed me. So to your point though, that was what really broke them out. And now we know them as that radio band or that, what do you want to call them? But they definitely didn't start out that way. And it's kind of interesting that they're pigeonholed like that now, because I don't think you're wrong. And I think a lot of other people think that way because of their roots. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and even for me at the time, they were just the radio band. Now, I knocked them a little harder because everybody at the time, I remember people like, oh, you're so great. Yeah. But I will admit that, yes, he does have skill. Like, I'm not knocking that. Dave Grohl, has skills that, if he's up on the roof somewhere, I'm below the ground somewhere. Not that that's a fair association.
I hear you
comparison,
saying
but I will not knock his skill. Like, he definitely has skill. He has the beats. It's just the Foo Fighters style through their albums, all of those things, they've never really bitten on me.
That's not your thing. Yeah,
now,
sure.
they
never resonated really with your...
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
No.
I didn't love it.
Yeah.
It was, to me, and again, I don't mean this too offensively, it's just that radio band.
Yeah.
Or back in the day, the Much Music Band.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
My favorite time seeing the Foo Fighters was in Detroit.
Oh, no.
I went down there and saw them co-headline, I guess you could say, with Weezer.
Oh wow,
that was pretty cool.
That
was really cool. I was big into Weezer again.
Weezer,
back in the same days as I guess Nirvana, Foo Fighters, right?
Still big into Weezer. I love those guys. They're fun.
I appreciated them more back then.
Classics,
I guess. Again, to me, Weezer's now one of those radio bands.
Oh, there you go.
Fair.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
When the first two records came out, I guess they were a little more underground or not as they had. Yeah, the two Much Music-y songs.
Yeah, to me, you know what? I have to admit, for me, they're much the same. They're just that radio. They're a good band, but
right. So
sure.
I can't count how many times I've seen the Foo Fighters now. It's
probably up there.
it's a few.
It's got to be in
At
double
least
digits.
10.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
At
Next
least.
time they're in our neighborhood,
At least.
if it's reasonable rated, I'll give it a go just for fun.
Yeah, they're not bad price.
Yeah.
Just might want to. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
about to see them in Hamilton last year,
Yeah, well,
and then the whole nonsense hit.
yeah.
I was about to see them in fucking New Orleans last year.
What?
Yeah, they were going to play Blues Fest. They were going to headline. So Bex and I, when we were on our cross-country tour. Pardon me?
Yeah, that I would do.
I know.
That would have been.
So
yeah.
what we were thinking,
That
like
would've been-
we had our whole this is no joke. Our whole intentions were, I mean, before we knew the pandemic was going to be what the pandemic is, was to go to California and then basically we do what we did, except we were going to travel through California and then make our way back here. But when we found out about the Blues Fest in New Orleans when we were there, we're like, oh, we have to come back. But it's
Yeah.
like, it's not even a question. Yeah, like I mean, let's do this.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
we were mapping out how we were going to go to California, come back to New Orleans just to catch that show because I wanted to go to that tour too, and I couldn't figure out how I was going to be able to make that show work. I'm
Right.
like, well, I'll just do this. We'll just go see this on
Oh,
all
that
these
would have been
other
awesome.
major
Yeah.
bands. But unfortunately, that did not happen.
Yeah.
no.
What can you do?
And it probably still will not happen for at least another full year.
Sadly,
Nine Inch Nails.
yes, my favorite band.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was on the With Teeth album.
He's been on more, but that was his.
I think that was he was on most tracks on that.
Think
one.
so.
Really?
Yeah.
Like he helped produce, or he was actually part
He
of the
played
band?
drums.
Played
Oh,
drums.
Played
okay.
drums on it.
I
yeah.
think he did
anytime
a
there was
little-
live drums,
Yeah.
it would have been him.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to admit, did not know that.
Yeah, and what's funny is I love Dave's reaction because, and it's great to hear that Dave did what he did with his first album, playing all the music, because that's what Trent did for most.
Well, that's what he's done.
He's done,
for
yeah,
quite a
his whole
while.
career. Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
not now, but yeah, back in the day. And what's funny because when people ask Dave why did you play like on a 9 Inch Nails record like because it's 9 Inch Nails.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with Dave, right? Not only is he a musician, he's also a fan.
Such a fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's pictures of him. I think it was a Soundgarden concert, and he was just in the crowd.
yeah.
Really?
He was
Shit.
just there in the crowd.
Nice.
Didn't bring the I'm the Foo Fighters front guy bullshit.
Yeah,
out.
yeah. He's just there to
I'm
try
sure
and enjoy
I'm
the
sure
show.
he went backstage
Oh, well,
at
the
some
after
point,
party.
right? Yeah. But
I hope he did in his benefit. Like, fucking hey, dude, you have skill, you have talent. I may not be a huge, oh my God, gonna, want to buy every single album type of guy, but if I saw him in life, yeah, I'd bow to the ground. No, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
I know.
I know skill. I see it.
Sure. One thing I want to talk about real quickly. This is
Just
all
one thing?
I don't want to offend all my my actual musician friends that are possibly watching this, the tens of you I know. But one thing I love is the fact that Dave's not like a trained musician. He's not at all. Like
Nope.
he doesn't read music. He's still like doing it for 30 plus years and doesn't read music. Very much in the same
Really?
vein of Michael Jackson and a bunch of other famous artists that
Shit.
don't. And it's like if you are out
That
there
is
and
a
you
skill.
understand, if you understand music, but you think for whatever reason you can't do it because you don't know tempo or you don't know whatever it is you think you don't know. Listen to the Foo Fighters. Like,
or pick up that instrument.
yeah,
right?
give it a shot. Like that's what what it's for. And I mean, like we're talking about, yeah, now they are that radio band, but they weren't, right? There was a time when they took a chance and
But they're still also kind of not like some bands will just stick with what made money.
yeah.
They got to a point where they, for Sonic Highways,
Yeah.
they recorded in different spots all over the U.S.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
one was in a church
Well,
or in New Orleans.
going
they
a little
did it
deeper,
in-
it's not just about recording a different spot.
well, it's also experiencing the different locations as well.
Yeah.
Doing interviews with musicians who are
Mhm.
from there or super popular there. Like he did an interview with Muddy Waters,
Right.
Nice.
and some
Shit.
of that interview ended up in a song.
Nice.
Yeah, he would write the lyrics kind of on the spot in a way, right
Okay.
before he went out to record them.
And
Yeah,
that was
that's
the
amazing.
experiment, was to spend a week within these cities and try to create a song, develop a
A
song.
vibe that's kind
Yeah.
of based on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
but
again-
also with that Foo Fighters-y
Yeah.
kind of thing
Dave
going on.
Grohl has what's the word I'm looking for? Like he is good at he is a musician with skill, understanding. He has a style. That's fair, like in the sense of how he operates, but
Mhm.
I do not knock any of that because that's just it. None of the things I've heard out of him or his bands has ever been, oh my God, that's awful. It's just, oh yeah, okay, that's Dave Grohl, or it's Foo
Yeah,
Fighters,
yeah.
like, hey, yeah. And as I said, like there have been the odd one where I've sat my butt down and shit, yeah, that's a good song. All right.
Yeah. That run song, when that run song came out from Concrete and Gold, I was like, what the?
That's a good tune.
Such a good track. It was like, it brought me right back to freaking 90s punk, which it's not, but it definitely had that kind of, that nostalgic vibe to it. Sure.
I'm enjoying the new one.
Yeah, it was good.
Medicine at
Yeah,
Midnight.
I like it a lot.
I mean, it's different.
Yeah, but I feel like there's been a constant thing with the Foos. It's like, I know not every album's a concept album, but they seem to strive for something different for each record. Whether that's like Wasting Light was the let's do it all in analog again,
in his garage,
right? Let's with in your honor, it's like, well, let's do a half acoustic, or it's not acoustic, soft, and half.
I'd say it's mostly acoustic. That'd be correct.
But then also too,
I think that's where they got their idea and their jump to do more acoustic stuff.
Yeah, that's. Oh man, I love that record so much.
And the Skin and Bones thing, they knew that worked.
Yeah,
because of
really
that.
Well.
But yes, you're right. I think that was around the time that he started playing with different ideas, right? Like we could still do this, but let's throw this in the soup, right?
Yeah,
no,
let's
good.
make it.
And that's
soup.
good power on them. Like again, any band that can sit there, mix it up, but still have a bit of the style for some of that album. To me, that is a good way of kind of moving forward, trying new things.
I could see them losing a lot. Not necessarily losing, but having people lose interest in them off the last record that they put out because it's so different. Because it's not a Foo Fighters record. It's very, I don't know. There's like elements of disco and
really
big vocals and it's
lots
different.
Of backup vocals.
It's weird. It's the same but different.
Yeah, they really went for. So there's like two major themes I would say you'd find. It's a poppier record and lots of 70s grooves, like
70s, 80s kind of.
Yeah.
Now I almost feel like I need to go listen to this because 70s. I may not have
you
lived
never
in
know.
the 70s.
You never
but
know.
Telling you, man,
like
it. I like it a lot. I think it's great.
It may have played in the big playlist that I left on, radio mode, but hey, I
when you like they're doing na 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 na. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, one of the songs has like a Steve Miller kind of. The title track, "Medicine at Midnight," has like a Steve Miller abracadabra thing going on.
But then he did that Shame, which is almost like a borderline of goth kind of dark, dreary vibe to it.
Hey, that's another style. I'm all right.
I know. And the video's creepy and weird. It's like,
but it's good.
But it's so good. Oh, it's good. It's good.
It's very minimal.
Yeah,
that one, right?
Yeah,
it's different.
And I like that. I love that they're continuously trying to move their needle, whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and again, and you guys kind of already touched on that, where they're at that point now where they can kind of do whatever they want. But it's good when a band does that. Like, and it's easy for me to say this, but it's always good when you have a band that you enjoy, that you do love, and then they go out and they start to do the exploration. They still want you to love them, of course.
Yeah.
But they're willing to go and throw that against the wall. And I think we touched on this already, or you touched on this already, which is on their next album, when that comes out, how much of that will they continue forward?
No, it's true. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, what are they going to bring in? That's a good point. Yeah.
Or they just pick up that and throw it against another wall.
That's true. Well, it's kind of weird because you know what? Yeah,
if I had that skill and ability.
Oh, I know. Oh my goodness. Concrete and Gold definitely had a lot of influences from the 70s and whatnot, but they definitely kept it.
I think they started to play with the ideas on this record then.
Yeah.
Right, because Concrete and Gold came before their latest.
Their
latest album, and there's a few na-na-na-nas and big vocals and stuff like that on
but
that
it's still very harder edged.
It's not as
it doesn't matter what they do, they get shit on. Like they got shit on for being a dad band back then. Like what do you want from them?
So they have kids. Shit.
Like, okay.
I have kids. You have kids.
At least they're
you
not
have
singing.
a puppy.
I have a puppy. I'm a doggy daddy.
He's the dog father.
Yes.
I'm a dog father.
That was well done. I'm impressed.
That's the Foo Fighters.
That's the Foo Fighters. Well, what is it?
All right.
I
did. Really?
Like in human flesh person.
Like you could feel each other's breaths.
I touched his hand.
Whoa.
I shook his hand.
Nice.
He and the drummer Taylor were doing an interview at the Edge in Toronto. I was going to say Winnipeg.
Yeah.
That's one time I almost met him, but I was too young to go to the strip club.
No.
Some buddies. That was. We'll start there, I guess, because that was in '97 or something like that. It would have been 97 or 98. And they were playing Edge Fest in Winnipeg. Some buddies of ours went up the night before, and they went to the strip club and had a beer with Dave Grohl.
Nice.
And
Nice.
obviously, I wasn't old enough. I think 18 was the drinking age, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. And then outside the acoustic show in Toronto, the one, it was like 3,000 people went to that one.
Yep.
I did the wait outside by the buses
Gotcha.
thing.
Nice.
And they all came out. I had a nice, cool poster and everything like that. I got most of them, I think, good bulk of them to sign the poster.
Right on.
And waited a little bit more for Dave. Waited a little bit more for Dave. Of course, he's the one getting all the interviews and radio and muchy music and all that. And then by the time he came out, the bus had to go.
Oh,
So it was one of those. He acknowledged it, mind you. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, guys. It's like,
We have to go.
bus drivers have schedules.
Yeah.
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
They can't really fuck around that way.
Yeah.
And that's when I found out that he was going to be, like, a couple days or weeks later, I found out that they were coming back and doing the Edge thing.
Gotcha.
Oh,
So I was like, I'll wait in line for that.
Patient.
Nice.
Patient.
So we can throw some, I have pictures.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get the
Not
pictures
necessarily pictures of me meeting him.
Yeah.
My ex wasn't on the ball with the camera.
on. That's okay.
But I got one with Taylor.
Yeah, that's
I got
right
a
on.
picture with Taylor.
Right on.
And there is a picture from the Edge. They're standing there, and then me and my ex are standing in the middle.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it was
Hey.
a cool experience. And it was one of those, again, they say never meet your heroes, but I think if your hero is Dave Grohl or somebody akin to that sort of person, then meet your hero.
Yeah. Even
'Cause it
I
was a
wouldn't
great
mind
experience. I shook his hand.
For sure.
His
Yeah.
hands are tiny. Or either that or it was just one of those, like, when you're in the moment, everything seems
You
bigger.
probably
and
think
get-
they're big.
It didn't feel as big as you'd think a guitar player,
Sure.
Drummer, yeah, fair enough.
just maybe
And
regular
again,
size.
it's not a chance because some people might look at it and go, "Oh my, he has nice long fingers. He probably is an amazing pianist or guitar player." No,
No.
zero.
But it could have been that
ability.
moment, where you're not thinking straight,
Yeah.
and you get the tunnel vision, and all your senses kind of just go. Bleh.
Yeah,
But I got to tell him, I got to say, "You're my hero," and he's like, "You drummer?" I said, "Yeah," and he was like, "Cool."
cool,
Right on.
nice,
Right on.
very nice.
Kind of had to move along, right? There was
Well,
a lot
yeah,
of
he's
people
going
trying
down
to
the-
get
yeah.
autographs and stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was my experience. I enjoyed that. My love affair with the Foo Fighters started in probably 94, 95,
Nice.
when my buddy showed me, "Hey, check this out. This is the guy from Nirvana."
Yeah.
I was like,
You-
well, I really like the drummer from Nirvana. That would have been one of the reasons why I started playing.
Playing the drums. Yeah,
Okay,
nice.
cool.
So, a little different, I guess, when it's you're realizing he's the guy from Nirvana, as opposed to him saying, "Hey, I'm the guy from Nirvana. Buy my record."
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and it kind of
Oh, he is well skilled. Yeah.
kind of went on from there.
Well, I
I
think
enjoy
it's,
them greatly.
I think
my
it's-
license plate says Foo Fighter on it.
Sure
It
does.
does.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that you and I are probably friends because of the Foo Fighters, to a degree. I mean, it was a big connection point
To a
when
degree.
when we first met and said, "Hey, that
Nice.
guy's cool.
Maybe
Yeah, that
I
guy's
don't
cool.
remember that.
Are you a Foo Fighter?"
I don't remember.
Yeah, of course. you
Oh
remember
crap! That probably sets me up quite badly for.
I remember. I thought it was more like movie films. But
It was that, but I
was
remember
all
when you,
popular
like when you
popular
went when you
culture.
got like right into it. It's like, oh wow, yeah, I'm a fan, but like not like you're a fan. And then when we hung out, we listened to some records, did our thing, and you give me all the juice on the Foos, and like, yeah, no, I think I'm a fucking big fan now. Thanks.
I gave you my food
Your
juice.
food juice. I got your food juice. All over the place. It's all
right,
over.
man.
All over my everywhere. Can't get it out of the carpets or nothing.
It's in my hair.
It's in my hair. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Cool.
So, well, maybe this will spark others' curiosities
Yeah.
about. Hopefully,
Can I ask a hard question? What is your favorite Foo Fighter song?
song.
Yes. And again, I know it can be a challenging one, but I'm just curious. Yeah, I always struggle with these two.
Yeah, that's
okay.
I have many.
Many in all their different time, place,
Sure.
Yeah,
style,
yeah.
feeling.
I don't know.
No?
Everlong would be definitely top 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a few off like Wasting Light. That whole record
It's amazing.
is phenomenal.
That Rope remix. That Demos remix.
That's pretty cool.
Anyways.
That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Everlong.
Everlong?
We'll put that. We'll put that.
I really enjoyed the acoustic version
for sake
of that
of. There's a lot of
man.
that times like these.
That one
videos
is the
that
one
you,
for
you
me.
sent us.
Oh yeah, that one.
I remember. I
love
think
that
I
one.
started watching that, but I never finished. I watched it today though.
Right song, right
Yeah.
time, right everything. I will again head nod skill. Like I may not be a huge fan, and I know there's many artists involved in that particular
Yeah,
version,
yeah.
but damn, everything I needed. Even listening to it, I listened to it today again. Tear. Fuck.
It was a perfect rendition of that song for what we were going through.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It
it
really
was.
was.
Yeah.
And yeah, just beautifully set up.
Mhm.
And
So that'd be my selection, but of course that's.
no, and that's good. Oh, I don't know. See,
Well, that resonated with you somehow.
Oh, it did. Yes,
right.
it did.
So that why not?
I would say it's probably a toss between. Oh man, there's three that I always go back to and I listen to constantly. Probably Monkey Wrench, My Hero, and Razor are like my
Nice.
3 songs by them that I always listen to. They're in, like whatever playlist I'm listening to. I don't know why. Just great tracks.
Cool.
And they remind me of people, things in my life. And stuff.
Well, yeah, and I
Mhm.
truly do understand. Every band, you always have many songs
Yeah.
you do love, but there's always just that tough question that has to be asked.
I do really enjoy the instrumental that Dave Grohl put out a few years ago called "Play."
Oh yeah.
That I believe it had to do with helping youth,
Mm.
young people's music programs and whatnot, and
Right.
Yeah.
helping them kind of get into it. I think I really like it because it went back to him playing all the instruments again.
The video was kind of fun to watch as you see him walking in multiple. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's well done.
It was. I found it as a musician. I found it creative,
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
and yeah, it kind of reinvigorated my. Hey, I want to at least do something like that. Like
Nice.
maybe I can't do a whole record by myself, but
Maybe you could.
I know enough about instruments that I could at least do a song.
A song.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
So
Be awesome.
Very nice.
I have another tough question. Besides Dave Grohl, who's your favorite Foo Fighter?
I'd say Taylor Hawkins.
Oh, okay. All
I'd
right.
have to say I'm a drummer,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I gravitate towards the drummer more.
Hmm.
I got one of his signature snares,
That's true. You do. Yeah.
and I like what he does aside from the Foo Fighters as well.
Yeah.
I'm not really into the country-ish sort of thing that Chris Shiflett does,
No.
or the hardcore punk stuff that Pat Smear would be more known for.
That's my favorite.
He's
I love Pat.
he's an interesting fellow.
Sure is.
He was the one who stopped and chatted the most when I got.
He's a guy I
poster
want to
signed?
get drunk with.
He was drunk when he.
Oh
and
man,
he was very
so funny.
very out there.
He's that part of the
odd.
band.
He's an
Yeah.
odd duck for sure.
For sure. Well, he left the band and came back, and just
He was in
Yeah,
Nirvana
Mhm.
at the
He
end.
was in Nirvana in the end. Yeah,
Um,
that's right.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say. Wait.
Yeah, I love that. That's an interesting alternative history that people like to talk about. Is like, well, if Kurt didn't pass, would there even be a Foo Fighters?
Oh,
and
who
if there
knows?
was, would he be involved? Would he like it? And Dave's kind of starting to answer those questions.
Yeah,
now, and
nobody
it's
would
interesting.
know. It's,
No one would
yeah.
know. I'm sure. You know what? No, from what we know of our limited knowledge of Kurt Cobain, I'm sure he'd be very supportive of his boys and what they do.
I like to think that, but I have zero clue.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's true. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
As long
I
as
don't
Courtney Love wasn't involved, it should be fine.
yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about
Let's
that.
not talk about that.
We're gonna have happy
I don't
conversations.
want to talk about that.
I don't want to cry right now.
It makes me sad.
It makes me so. He's a special cat, and I love the
I
fact that we talk. You are. Definitely. Well,
I'm
this goes
sorry,
back
Mr.
to this.
Grohl.
Like, I don't know if I met a bad Dave. Maybe there are bad Daves out there, but I don't know if I met them. So
I know
you
there
go.
are not.
So there's something.
Now that just makes me want to sing "These Are the Daves I Know."
I know.
These are the days I know. I know the song.
Shout out the kids in the hall. That's right. Yeah. One thing is great about Dave is he's Foo Fighter, but he's also trying to bring music together in various ways, and he's so connected in all the best ways. Like even Guns N' Roses, the whole chair thing and his cast and stuff.
Oh,
on
yeah.
that tour.
That was a great show.
Did
Actually,
you hear about that?
I
do you know about this? Do you hear about this?
I did
You know
not.
this?
I
Hear
did
about
not.
this? No,
Oh my
yeah.
word.
Dave Grohl fell off the stage
Oh shit.
and broke his femur or whatever, whatever's here, tibia,
Yeah.
whatever this is here. And he still had a whole bunch of. First of all, he finished the show with
The broken
with a
whatever.
broken leg.
Yeah.
He had the doctor holding his foot in
Oh yeah.
place.
Shit.
And he finished the show sitting
That's
on a chair.
dedication.
That is.
Went and got it all pinned up and fixed up, and still had one of those walking cast thingies on, but he's
Gotcha.
not going to be able to jump around and be
It's normal.
Dave Grohl
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that on.
yeah.
So he built a throne.
Okay, I might Google this later.
He built a throne and he had his leg out.
Nice.
And it would like hydraulics in and had wheels and shit. It would like move back and forth. Yeah, I got to see them on that tour actually.
Nice.
Nice.
Right
That's
on.
good.
I would say that was Max's first concert because Nikki was pregnant.
Oh, right
She was
on.
like, I think 8 months pregnant with Max
Oh,
or
wow.
something like
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he was definitely
Yeah, he could hear.
He heard the
could feel.
concert for sure.
You heard something going on.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
yeah. So
Nice.
And
yeah,
then he
that's
gave,
cool.
and then
he gave it to Axl Rose.
because Axl Rose
Did the same thing.
did the same thing.
No, really, shit. I
Yeah.
did not hear this.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so and that was a big deal for them because they were just getting kind of back in the groove of touring and doing the GNR thing
Mhm.
with
Jeez.
like original members and stuff. I know.
That's
I
a
know.
whole other discussion.
That's a. Yeah, I love GNR.
Yeah.
Anyways, oh man, and yeah, and it's, again, another connection point is
Nice.
he was able to make it easier for GNR to kick ass and
Good.
chew
That
up
is
on them.
good.
Yeah,
It was still entertaining.
I bet it was.
It was just as I'd say it was just as entertaining as if he wasn't. stuck
Yeah,
in
he
a
was
chair.
still doing everything he could within that. Yeah.
just as charismatic, right?
Yeah. He's, yeah.
Wouldn't that be great though to go to his show? Period. But wouldn't that be great to go to his show and then you're one of the guys with the sign and he pulls you up and you're like, yeah, kid, or whatever. Show us your
That's not my
stuff.
style, I have to admit.
You don't like that?
Well, for me personally, that's just it. I would let's put it this way. If I had a sign and he's like, hey, come up, and I was sitting beside, I'm not mean sitting, but standing,
Yeah.
enjoying the show beside AJ, I'd be like, here, AJ, go take the sign off. He
Oh,
won't-
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Here, let this guy go up.
yeah. Because it's one of those things like, yeah, no. I'm here because I'm dancing, jumping up and down.
Yeah.
I want to see you in person. I want to make sure that of this lovely ticket that is some wonderful amount, which all shows are. It's not just a Foo Fighters thing.
No,
I'm not
no.
knocking.
Ticket
It's
prices
just
are too
they
much.
are what they are.
Too much.
At least when I'm paying that, you're hopefully getting at least $5 of it.
Yeah, exactly. I hear you.
I guess we can wrap it up with my good news.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
let's
Nice.
go.
I have,
good
I have
news.
good news about my Live Nation
Ooh,
escapade.
The saga continues.
the saga does continue, hopefully ending soon.
Hopefully.
So I got an email saying that they were going to refund me
yes.
the money for the thing, and then I got another one saying that we're just going to replace it too.
+1 as long as you get the replacement.
Right? Well,
+1.
it's been shipped.
Nice.
I've been tracking it.
Very good.
It has actually moved from its origin point.
Very good.
Right on.
So
Did it pass the magical border?
no,
Oh.
it's still in California.
Mm.
So who knows how long it'll be in California? But
Yeah.
it seems to be moving quicker than like these shoes did.
Okay.
So
That's something.
They are very nice shoes.
They're nice shoes.
they're wonderful shoes.
They are.
I have yet to wear them
Uh,
outside of my house.
that is a little obvious, but I could understand.
I want to and I don't all at the same time.
Sure.
I think I'm going to wait for one of those hot, dry.
Perfect weather.
Days,
yeah.
yeah.
Just walk very slowly, gently.
Yeah, certain kicks you just don't wear every day. You know? No, that's just the way it goes. Well, I'm really happy that you're getting your stuff and you're getting a refund.
So Live Nation has redeemed themselves a little bit. I mean, yes, I had to fight for months to get to this point, but a refund, and they're going to send me
over. That at least is that little bit of a we're trying to correct.
We fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's wonderful. That's
So
cool.
good. Yeah, that's
Right on.
that's the end of my story.
I love
Perfect.
it. Well, listen, we got a chance to talk about the Foo Fighters today, and I feel like that's a good time. I love it.
Mhm.
And if you aren't listening to the Foo Fighters, or you are, or you whatever, share your thoughts. Let us know what you think of this band. Do you give a shit? Do you not give a shit? We're interested. We're curious. Do you agree with Dave? It's just another radio band? Or the greatest thing since Nirvana? Maybe that's a little strange.
Since sliced bread,
Yeah.
since fried chicken. Come
Since
on,
fried chicken, for sure. Share with us, please. We would definitely want to keep the conversation going, and
Hmm.
comments and everywhere else we like to hang out on the socials. And if you're out there and you're you're thinking about what you're thinking about, we just want to let you know you matter. You matter in very important ways to us as people that are, we like to call ourselves entertainers, and to those that are around you. So if you just need a little pick-me-up, just know that you count. Outside of that, my name is Harvey. Dave
Shergold.
And as Mr. T once said, let's go fight some foos. I'm AJ.
And this has been another Sarcastic Distraction. Have a great day.